Hello and welcome back to Roll For It for episode 2 of Fablecraft, Vakna's Awakening, sponsored by Riftweaver, the creators of the Fablecraft TTRPG virtual tabletop combo. It is an RPG and it is a virtual tabletop on which you can play it that we're using today to play our RPG. It's got all sorts of cool GM tools mixed into it. You will have seen it if you're watching the previous episode. Maggie has a whole host of, there's a bunch of stuff that we can't see in the background, backgrounds. Yeah, there's backgrounds in the background.
Battle maps, backgrounds, all the little things, the characters that you probably saw me drag on.
It's very cool. And that's what we've been using, showing it off. Currently in development with the Kickstarter now complete. A resounding success. They blew the targets out of the water. Incredible.
Amazing. I'm so happy for them as a fellow developer too. It's, when you get the funding you need and then you go beyond that, that just means you can make the product that you want even better. Like that is heartwarming. And also to know that there's that many people who want your product. So definitely spread them some love. Even if you aren't able to give to the Kickstarter, at least go over there. You should be able to find their social links from their Kickstarter and give them some love.
Yep. Thanks to them for sponsoring us and letting us get early access to this system. But yeah, that's it. Let's hand it over to Maggie.
Ooh, this is so quick. It's so weird.
We're doing short shows. Usually I'll ramble for like 20 minutes and then someone has to tell me to stop, but it's like, we don't have time. We gotta get to it. Let's go.
They want the story. Hopefully you all have been enjoying. Well, with that.
Episode 2 of Vakna's Awakening, Down the Hatch, begins in a similar manner to that of our previous episode. The camera pans down through a long stretch of flat, colorful grassland, broken by patches of wildflowers, as our party stands looking outward towards the old world ruins. Zingana carrying the pink, glowing relic, which is said to be a piece of the Vestige of Vakna. What it does, they don't know, but the party is on a quest to find all of its parts. The camera watches them as they begin searching for a caravan to help them traverse the long, cairn-protected roads, as although the meadows may seem like large expanses of nothingness, any Longstrider would tell you there are resources around if you know where to look.
What do you all do? How do you go about looking for a caravan? And of course, Teshwin, this is your lands. This is your people.
Well, every single once in a while we're walking through the grasses and through the areas. Also, as every single time we pass a cairn, I take a little star fragment out of my pocket and just toss it onto the pile, make it glow a little brighter. But I'm on the lookout for birds because they fly above, and so if I'm lucky enough to find one, I can give it a little tweet, and it can hopefully let me know if it sees any big caravans up ahead.
Yeah, I would say nature or perception. I would allow either of those. And
Nature's
depending on
perfect.
which one, it'll be easier or harder.
Nature seems perfect.
Nature will be much easier. It will be an easy roll for you.
And thank goodness for that.
Perfect. You look up at the
One spot.
sky. It is a clear sky day. And for most long striders, the daytime is when you sleep. It is not sometime that you're normally awake. The wake time is at night because the stars, they guide you. But you do notice some birds making some noise. A bit far over the hill, but you know if you just crest it, you might be able to get their attention.
I believe those are our friends. Hold on, don't scare them. And I'm going to speak to nature.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, I take a small feather from my pack, shove it in my cheek. Hopefully this time I won't end up cutting myself. Is this a easy roll, challenging roll? Difficult?
It is going to be an easy roll for you.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh no.
I start choking on the feather. Great.
The feather goes down the hatch and you begin coughing. feather bits coming out. The birds, hearing the cough, scatter away.
Oh.
You hear a ruffle of feathers.
At the back, Zingana's been kind of grumpy, walking all this way, and just goes, "Didn't you say not to scare them away?"
This spell is clearly not working as it should. I feel like I've screwed up twice now. 3 times. There was also that one where I was trying to talk to that beaver and it didn't work out at all. But that was because he was a rude one.
Are you feeling stressed out?
A little bit.
It
Didn't
could
realize-
be that.
Possibly. I didn't realize we'd be back so soon. Well, I'd be back so soon.
Perhaps we could meditate and you could recenter yourself.
Honestly, it might not be recentered until nightfall, and that might be taking too long.
Jaro just sighs. I think he's got his cloak wrapped around him to protect against the wind, and he also I think just Jaro and Zingana are just next to each other, just miserable.
Yeah, you have someone who is from the highlands who is not used to being so close to the ground. And then you have another who is a woodlander who's not used to having open plains, usually feeling comfort with large trees surrounding them.
So windy here.
Oh,
So-
right.
Grassy here.
Well, they call it the Meadows for a reason.
It's
Look-
beautiful. I'm just twirling around in the jumping and skipping through the grass.
Oh, you think it's beautiful
I
now?
feel like Tuff is probably joining you, if that's all right with you,
100%.
Zingana. I feel like Tuff leaps off of Zingana and joins Mia in hopping around in the fields.
You
There's
know
a little
what?
bit of jealousy on Zingana's face. He's sort of dancing with Mia, but he's way too grumpy in this environment to do anything about it.
Enjoy the time we have, because after this, we're heading towards, well, probably the woodlands of the Coral Coast.
That sounds much better.
Just breathe
thought
it
you'd-
in.
Look, the grasses go on forever, and once the night falls, it lights up like you'll never believe. The stars, the sky, the sea of grass, they blend together. Can't tell where you start and where you end.
I'm sure it looks wonderful, but it's very cold.
It's cold and there's not. You can tell that this is going to be a long journey to make your way to, where you need to go. And also, you need to scout the ruins. You're not going to be able to do this on foot. What do you guys do?
Ruin should have a waypoint. Could try and construct one. You're all
How does that
looking at me
even
like,
work?
oh, it's... I would say it's quite simple, but I'd be lying.
While I'm spinning around, can I do a perception roll or something to look and see if there is anything I see that could potentially help us get where we're going faster?
Of course, you can do either perception or nature. Either one.
I'm going to do perception.
Right. Because the plains are pretty open, this is not a difficult roll. So I will say this is a easy roll for you.
Oh, fingers
And
crossed.
you have a vantage point because you guys did crest the hill. Ooh.
Epic success.
Yes.
Very epic success. Mia.
You spot a pride off in the distance, but close enough to hail. Teshwin recognizes one of them. Dill Tallgrass. Dill is lanky with fairly tan skin and extremely white, wavy, chin-length hair, with a white beard and mustache to match. He has kind blue eyes that pair with the blue pigment on his face, a reflection of the sky from which he was born under. The camera pans in on the party as Dill's caravan in tow, approaches, and you hear him greet you welcomingly.
Well, if it isn't Dill.
Hell there, Wanda. Oh, is that Teshwin Fexor? Why, I haven't seen you since you were a wee little one. My,
Oh,
have
come
you grown.
here.
I
And
hear you have a youngling of your own.
I
He
wrap
looks
my arms around Dill.
around. He looks around quickly at everyone and then continues.
Where are they? I hope no harm has come your way.
I immediately walk over to Dill and wrap my arms around him. Oh, he's at home, safe with a local trader friend I know.
Dill embraces you as well and holds you in a long hug. And then also does some kind of handshake that seems very familiar to, of course, Teshwin, but the rest of you may seem a bit odd comparatively.
Oh, well, that is great to hear. I'm glad no harm has come your way. What brings you all out here and with no caravan or wagon of your own?
We're going to the far ruins. We came from the highlands.
Oh, well, it's quite a trek on feet.
I was hoping to construct a waypoint. Well, if we didn't see a caravan, luckily we've seen you.
Well, unfortunately, we might not be able to assist you. You see, there's been a crazy karma cat roaming the meadows. You know them, they're usually very gentle creatures. We're trying to take the safest route and avoid traveling through its path.
Well, how about we join you? And if we see the cat, we calm it down. With all of us together, should be no difficulty at all. And this will allow us to catch up. It's been so long.
This is going to be a charm roll.
I am not
And
a
it will
charming
be
fella.
easy, as you are very familiar with Dill. Nice. Success. You can continue the conversation.
Speaking of which, I do have something for you. Well, it wasn't directly for you, but I do know it's your favorite. I've an old bottle of daisy wine. Brought along for the journey, but I'm afraid I'm
Oh,
not going to
you
need it.
know a way to this man's heart.
Well, I know the way to any man's
you're
heart.
Carrying daisy wine, well, we couldn't say no now, could we? Your
It would be
companion,
quite rude.
will they be joining us?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I
Oh,
suppose I should
yeah.
introduce them. This is Jara, Zingana, and of course the winner of the... I'm not going to call them that. The Riptide
Rippies.
Games.
The Rippies.
Mythas.
The Rippies. The Rippies.
Oh, yes, we've heard of the Rippies here, very much so. The children love talking about the tales of the games that you have all done. Mia, you must tell us the tales. But I am Dill Tallgrass. I run the Pride here, as you can see. Well, hop on in. I think we're headed for quite a journey tonight.
A softer soul you'll never find. We're very lucky to find him. Come on.
You'll want to rest up.
Yes, please. And I heard daisy wine. I'd love some daisy wine. That would be great.
Nice.
Do you have any food?
I love that. As you say, do you have any food?
Yes, we have quite a bit of food. Come, join us.
And the camera pans out as the Pride begins to move once more. And as time passes, the night sky appears. The cairn, fallen star fragments used by the Long Riders to guide them, glowing along the path ever so brightly.
Do you guys have any conversations as you're taking this journey? You see that most of the long striders are actually, a lot of them are sleeping. They're sleeping in their carriages. There's maybe a few people who are awake to move the carriage around, Dill being one of them, but most people are resting. But as you see this kind of night coming to pass, people start waking up. You start hearing music as like people are singing as the caravans are going through these little trails. And similarly to Teshwin, every single wagon, when they see these, they they toss a little bit of fragments of the stars into these cairns as they pass by them. Not one misses it.
Teshwin, you were right. This is beautiful.
I've often been asked why haven't I moved on? Why haven't I gone to seen the Coral Coast before? Or the Wildwoods, or the Highlands? But look, the world never ends. There's an infinite amount to explore here.
Oh, Mia, you're in for quite a journey tonight then. If this impresses you, oh my. Just wait till you see the Star Festival. You're very lucky to be joining us this evening, as it is that after all.
To protect the Star Seeker.
Yes.
We use it to predict starfalls in the future. The future coming nights and where they'll be.
You see the stars above us? They may light your path, but for us, they tell us where to go, where north is, where south is, where your home, the Coral Coast, begins and ends.
The duty a Longstrider has to his families never ended. Our ancestors guide us through the stars. They become stars, in fact.
I think I just look around with awe, like just mouth agape, taking in the lights and just admiring these. They call them cairns. Am I saying that
Cairns.
right?
Yeah, cairns.
Cairns. Okay. Just
Depends on if
honestly,
you're using it
aw-
with Teshwin's accent or not.
just honestly
Cairns.
awe.
I imagine it's in character where like Mia's like, wow, the Cairns is like Cairns.
Look at the
Cairns.
cairns. And I link arms with Zingana and Jara and just start walking a path and just not saying anything, just taking it all in, but kind of making us a little tight-knit group, and maybe without asking, just making us walk together.
I can't deny the beauty.
Zingana has drank a little bit too much daisy wine. She's a bit tipsy, a little bit unsteady on their feet, but it is definitely a long, full of ride. They're looking around, enjoying the view as well.
Teshwin looks at a specific star off in the distance, and he just says, "Good night, Killer."
Oh, you see,
Panning far across the sky, almost near the Coral Coast, there's a little hut where we see Azure and Kalar. Kalar standing out of it, looking up at the sky, and similarly says,
Good night, Papa.
That pathway over there, when you look up towards the sky, that's the pathway home. Not to my home, but to the center of the plains. It's said that when we first arrived here, the first stars that guided the night sky landed in that pattern to guide us to the safest place.
I feel very honored to be here.
Oh, you shouldn't. Anyone is welcome here. Tall or small, rich or poor, old family member or not.
Well, I'm certainly glad that life has afforded me a chance to be here and see this. I've never been far from home.
I think most of us haven't been. Unless you're a trader, it's hard to make the journeys these days.
I hope you don't mind me asking, Teshwin, why did you not want your child to come?
He's a boy. Barely old enough to reach my knees. He sees the world full of wonder and no danger. He talks to every single animal he sees, whether he can understand them or not. He's a wonderful child, but he's a child. and he should enjoy his childhood while it lasts. If our ancestors chose him, they must have done so knowing I wouldn't allow it.
Lovely to see a parent care so deeply for their child.
Makes me sound like yours didn't.
Oh, no. My father loves us all very much. And he does his best.
Zingana, your family. Did you ever actually meet any of them?
Oh, no. I think I was alone for most of my life. I'm pretty sure I had some kind of parent or a parental figure. And he just like takes another sip of the daisy wine. I think he's drinking it straight from a bottle.
There's quite a few bottles that are empty. You might be thinking Zagana's drinking quite a lot comparatively to, the first bits of time that you've met him. Maybe he's just enjoying himself.
Let me give you something to eat. Should I have something
Oh,
here?
yeah, I'm hungry.
Sometimes you can be your own parent or your own guide. You don't always need somebody.
Yeah. And I've had Tough. Tough has helped me a lot. Tough's been my family. I love Tough.
What you did back there was really impressive.
Back where?
When you got the piece,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's not the
you're
first
climbing
vault.
the walls, and
Do you want to climb a wall?
I will
teach
never
you.
say never to that.
Okay, I can. You don't have any walls here.
I'm afraid we're
This-
rather lacking in walls.
Yeah, this
Wait,
place
you
is all
can
floor.
here. Wait,
Floor
you
and
can climb up
sky.
the side of the caravan. Hold on, and I'm gonna
boy.
like stagger
Pull the
over
seat
to Mia and like hold her face if you allow me.
Yeah.
It's like okay.
You can smell the daisy wine coming from Zingana's breath.
And he kind of stares for a moment and just goes, "You're really pretty."
Aw, so are you.
Thank you. Okay. And then he kind of like lets go and like almost like he's about to fall in and turns around and then walks over to the nearest caravan and then places a hand on it and goes. And like usually he whispers gently to these surfaces that he's about to climb, but it's kind of like a loud stage whisper like, "Hey, would you let me climb on you?" And I'm gonna use my spell, so I can bestow this on other people as well. Gravitate climb to give
This
me
is-
the ability to climb.
Because you've drank quite a bit,
Yeah.
there's going to be a 3-pip difficulty on you here.
That is fair. Okay, I don't think I can succeed this, but let's see.
Some of those sides have 2 pips. You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
that's true,
some of
that's
those
true.
dice have 2 sparks on them, yeah. Oh.
No.
It's an epic failure. Tell us what happens as you do this. You shout at this
Yeah.
wagon.
It's kind of just, "Hey, can you let me climb on you?" What do you mean no? She's great. Just let her climb. It'll be like a second. There's like again a moment of silence. Fine. God, you're awful. I'll ask another caravan and kind of like staggers away.
All right, I think that's good. Did you get the idea? I like whisper to Jared. Did you get the idea that maybe he's a bit deep in his cups?
I think so, but I don't know if it's a good idea to try climbing a cart. Maybe carts have a different disposition towards being climbed on.
You also could just climb on them like normal people.
Yeah,
There's a ladder on the side.
I guess
Well,
it's not quite
this-
as impressive.
This just means that there's an opportunity in the future that we could climb on something else together.
It's true, we're heading towards some ruins. If this cat ever shows up.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty of walls in our future.
Okay.
I'm gonna just like climb a ladder because I just, I'm in a climbing mood. So I'll just start like whatever, whichever one Zingana's like trying to talk to. I'm just like climbing the side of it. Jara, what are your parents like?
These are moving carts, so I'm gonna need a athletics check for you.
Hey.
Are you much of a climber, Mia?
I mean, I swim a lot. There's like netting, I think, on boats that I've probably had to climb or climb up to. So maybe not like as skilled as, say, Zingana, but at different kinds of climbing.
Then I would say that this is maybe a challenging thing. So not easy, not difficult, but a challenging. So
Fall and break my tailbone again.
No. Oh.
Oh
No.
no.
Oh no. It was so
I've had a
close
little
to
bit of
this.
daisy wine too.
Do you
Can I
share
try
in
to
the
move to
bottle?
catch? Can I try to move to catch Mia?
Oh,
it's the same
yeah.
caravan
I
that
feel
I'm
like you're all
speaking
gonna
to, right?
be a pile on the ground, but
I think it's great. Yeah.
acrobatics or athletics, I would allow either of those. Or if
I'll
you
go
have some kind of spell.
acrobatics. Do I have a spell?
Again,
No, I
this is going to
don't.
be difficult for you because you are
Yeah.
wasted.
I go acrobatics. Yeah, no.
Okay, explain to me this scene. First, Mia, explain what happens to you, and then Drac, explain what happens to Zingana.
Oh wait, do I go first?
Yeah, you
Oh,
go first
sorry,
because
okay.
he has to react to what you do because he's going to try to catch you or whatever.
Yeah.
Try to make
So
it not happen.
I'm going, Jara, tell me about your parents. And I'm like swinging on this rope. And I probably had a couple swigs of the daisy wine. And I'm not used to the rope. It feels slippery. Maybe it's just something that I'm not quite used to the material. Or I'm just a little drunk. And so I grab it and my hand just immediately slips. And then I try to recover and I grab another part and it slips. And I just start falling backwards as the cart's moving into Zingana.
I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
well, me. Oh.
And Zingana like sees like you slip the first time, and Zingana's like, oh no, and then like moves to try and catch you, and then sees another slip, and then tries to readjust their movement. So I think the other one like moved your momentum slightly, so you had to move his, and immediately like just falls, just immediately his feet like, slip out from underneath him, and he collapses right underneath where you land.
So you break my landing essentially?
Yeah, I think I break
As
a
the
landing.
two of them create a pile on the ground, Zingana, the stone that you were holding onto, kind of pops out from wherever you had it like
It's in a
stored,
pouch. Yeah.
and it rolls down the pathway. Jara, it is right at your feet.
You gotta be careful with this thing, and I'm gonna pick it up. It's like, if this is what we say it is, you can't just have it loose in a bag. And I'm like,
Zingana,
it.
has this thing been weighing on you?
Huh?
Ever since we left the Highlands, you've been off. And I don't just mean it about the drink, although, honestly, this stuff is pretty strong. One bottle would have been enough. Never mind. My point is that you've been distant and cold, and it's not just the grasses or the wine talking, so what's going on?
I think still underneath Mia, kind of like laid on the ground. He kind of just like lays there for a moment, and you say all of this, Teshwin, and you just hear her like, oh, I haven't drunk that much in a long time.
When I feel like the mood shifts, I roll off of Zingana. I've been giggling this whole time and then being like, oh, the mood is shifting. So I sit cross-legged and I grab Zingana's hand and just look very thoughtfully between Teshwin and Zingana.
And Zingana like looks up at you and like immediately ears burning, cheeks burning, as they see that their hand is in yours, and just go, well, I'm really full. What did you say, Teshrin? Oh wow, I'm drunk.
Never
I'm drunk.
mind. We'll handle it later.
Perhaps I should check this thing isn't cursed. I'm going to use appraise on this item.
Ooh.
Touch any man-made object to learn its history, function, and value. Impromptu lectures about your findings are entirely optional.
This is going to be difficult.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, 2.
So close.
Explain to us what it looks like as you cast this on it, and what happens as it doesn't quite give you any information.
I think I sort of raise it in one hand, sort of looking at it, and then sort of cast my hand over it like I'm feeling for some sort of, energy or presence. Just sort of close my eyes and try, like I'm trying to hear something coming from this thing. And you see like little wisps of sort of magical energy sort of spiraling off his hands as he kind of tunes into this thing and tries to understand it.
Yeah, these wisps spiral off your hand towards the stone, but then kind of bounce back like something's shielding it. And you aren't able to get any information. As you listen, you don't hear any sounds. Nothing comes back to you.
This thing is tough to read.
Especially considering how good you are at that old trick.
Yeah,
I remember reading
one of my
about your letters.
specialties.
I have an idea. And I'll squeeze in Zingana's hand and stand up and rush over. And I want to try to cast my hindsight on it.
Sure. Tell us what that does.
Hindsight is enchant an object to view a projected illusion of its recent history. Works like a magical surveillance tape.
Love that. It's one of my favorites. Roll me a difficult level. This is very difficult. This is a old world artifact.
I don't take it from Jara, but I just put my hands on it and just focus intently.
I'll take any.
Okay.
I think I hold it out and I'm like, I'll take any support I can get.
And I just kind of go into a zen-like state and stare at this and try really hard to make this work.
No.
You try really hard, but it is an epic failure. What happens? And this should be something that's not just that it fails, but something bad happens.
I think the wine is starting to hit me a little bit more than it was before. It went from buzz to I'm a little tipsy. So I'm holding this and I'm trying to do my meditative zen state, and Jar starts to see me sway. And I just keep looking really intensely, and you see what looks like waves, like ocean waves, kind of ghostly cascading over this shard. But then the shard starts shaking really badly. And
go ahead.
I was gonna say, you see it start shaking, and I'm not breaking my line of sight on it. So
you feel this want to hold on to it and keep it.
And so my grip starts tightening on it, and it's almost like I'm entranced by this thing now, and I'm just unable to look away.
Yeah.
And I just start stepping back from you. And
Easy. I take a couple steps forward and grab your shoulder, easy. What's going on?
Oh, I guess I'm not feeling quite myself. Yeah, I'll try that again later when I don't have so much wine.
Would anyone like a little pick-me-up? I feel like you're all a bit...
I've never had daisy wine before, so this has been fun.
Well, technically speaking, it has alcohol, and alcohol is a poison. Hold on. Can I try and tend the flock?
Yeah.
Heal any living thing.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I get ahead of myself.
You're okay.
Heal any living thing back to full health. Expels most poisons and cures common diseases, and technically alcohol is a poison.
Yeah, you can try to heal Mia. I think because Mia had an epic failure, this is going to be a difficult thing to do.
I'm not going to succeed. Let's try anyway because it's fun. Look, I know where the winds are turning. So I take a small rag and I cover it with a small elixir, and I gently wipe the side of Mia's face.
Oh,
It's not terrible. It's not an
yeah,
epic
it's
failure.
not epic.
Yeah, you don't hurt her, but you touch their face gently, but it doesn't seem to be really doing what it normally does.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the first time is probably the worst. Oh, here, at
Feels
least.
nice though.
Yeah, of course it does. Here, just press that against your forehead, would you?
Okay. And I
All
just
right.
sit down.
As Mia
Think
sits
I-
in the cart holding this piece of something that Teshwin has created on their forehead.
A few hours pass in the night before the pride comes to an opening in the path, guided by the cairn where they halt. Almost as though rehearsed a million times, the pride quickly gets to work, setting up camp. Large, colorful tents are displayed. The once mobile caravans are stationed and almost transform into little colorful houses of sorts. Lanterns begin floating into the sky, held together by thin strings. The cacophony of laughter, music, and life surrounds everyone. You find yourself sitting around a campfire with Dill, daisy wine in hand, as he says,
Teshwin, that is quite the cloak. I would love to hear the tale, the story of how it was weaved. Are you up for a little show and tell, or should I share one of mine?
All right. I get the hint. Well, it's a coming of age story. So all you newcomers better understand, I was simply a child when this first started. Teshwin has his hair like cascading down his shoulders now. He's let it out. He's more at ease than I think anyone has ever seen him before. He hasn't had a sip of the daisy wine, but he has a small like flask of iced tea beside him, which is weird considering how freezing it is, but he doesn't seem to mind. And he has his arms wide open. So as usual, I was under the night sky. But this time, the sun was slowly beginning to rise. And just like any young man, wanting to prove his strength, I said I would stick out in the forest. The forest of, well, the grasses. Not like your forest. You know what I mean. I would stick out the forest of the grasses, staring up at the sky, and I would stay awake all night and all day until finally the sun set again. And when I flung my arms wide, I looked up and I saw the stars swiftly fade from sight. I saw the sun creep up over the horizon. I saw the sky warm up to a light shade of pink and purple before the sun rose enough to turn it blue. And I waited and waited. And I talked to the birds and, well, one very, very anxious deer. It was rutting season, and he was trying to, convince a friend of his, to, never mind. It was a whole conversation. As the day grew longer, the day grew colder, of course. And I waited and waited and waited. And then I fell asleep right before the sun finally set. I almost saw it fall down. I saw the sky turn purple. I saw the dusk on the horizon, and yet I couldn't stick it through. And when I woke, my family had woven me a cloak to keep me cool, to keep me warm. They placed it over me, and so when I woke finally under the night sky, I felt safe. And then I realized something. Family was going to be the most important thing to me in my life. It was my purpose. And so I spent the next day, because I was certain I was going to try a full day, weaving it into this cloak, from a blanket. Of course, it took me at least 4 more tries to actually stick out through the entire day. But, I did make an effort. And this thing has kept me warm through many a sun's rays.
Well, what a story and what a tale that is. Ah,
As he takes another chug from the daisy wine.
Jara,
Are there more bottles of daisy wine around?
Oh, there's plenty.
they're always like slightly out of the way though. Every single time I see someone, one of these two, looking at a bottle of daisy wine during this story, I stand up and like I make a show of like moving them into farther and farther locations.
I somehow find a way to grab a bottle of daisy wine. I sit next to Dill and I'm just sipping on a cup of it.
Yeah, Dill leans in and kind of chinks his glass with yours.
Then Ghana's like laid out on the ground, arms spread, groaning with how full he feels still. Kind of like, and Tuffy like sat on his chest looking down at him. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
Tuff's
never
looking
going
at
to
you.
eat again.
The little whiskers moving in his nose, like kind of twinging because he's not sure what to do.
I'm never gonna eat again, I think.
Eat. It wasn't eating that was the problem, son. It was drinking.
That too.
Is there food?
There's tons of food. Over there, they'll be selling star cakes.
oh,
Star
plenty of
cakes?
food. You must try the star cakes. They're not only tasty, but they are beautiful.
I'm gonna get in line. And I stand up and go start getting in line for a star cake.
So when I wrote about all this places, all this festival in my letters jar, did I live up to the hype?
Well, there's nothing that quite compares to seeing it.
Suppose not. What are the woodlands like?
I feel like it's the opposite of here, even though you're surrounded by nature, it's completely different. Here you can see forever. It's kind of unnerving, to be honest. In the woods, it's trees forever. You can't see the sky. You can't see the horizon. It feels cozy, safe.
Keller used to have nightmares when he was a boy, when he was a younger boy. He used to tell me that sometimes when he closed his eyes, he'd feel the gravity shift beneath his feet, and he'd fall forever into the sky.
Exactly, that's what it feels like. It's so open.
You get used to it.
Suppose you do. I imagine that long striders in the wildwoods feel closed in. Like danger could be lurking around every corner. Here there are no corners.
That doesn't mean things aren't hiding here. The grasses cover a lot more than you'd think.
Noted. Do you really think that thing Zingana found is actually one of the vestiges, a piece of it?
Judging by the way it reacted to your spell, and to Mia's spell, and the way that Zingana's been off kilter, let's say, for the past few days, yes. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Could it really be that we're the ones who find it? I've read the stories of centuries worth of groups of chosen ones going out into the world to search for these things, and they always fail. They get distracted, or they run away, or they die. No one ever actually finds a piece of it.
Well, we don't know that for sure. Always a chance they found one, got lost. It could be that these places hold their own magic. So if one of these shards or pieces of Vakna's vestige get lost, they just find their way back home.
I suppose that might be the way it works.
The old ones had magic like that.
Because no one's ever found all four, so it's always ended up coming to nothing. I was starting to have hope, now I'm worried again. We've only managed one, maybe we need all four to be any different from the rest.
Jarrett, no amount of books can prepare you for the amount of I mean, I know those shambling rock faces were fools, but if they were the least of what we could find, they were still pretty formidable in their own right.
Oh, I know how risky this entire deal is. I wasn't picked because I was the best for the job, you know.
Well, why were you picked?
Because I was the most inoffensive. The original idea was a good one. The various, communities of all of the heart trees in the wildwoods would convene and have a series of meetings and councils and grand debates as to who would be best suited to go out and find the pieces. But it fails once and then it fails the next time, and they keep picking all of these important people who go off and never come back or come back empty-handed. Eventually, people didn't want to send their best anymore. Nowadays, the debate is more who can be spared, who won't be missed.
And you were a person that they thought, well, if we lose Jara...
It's not the end of the world.
I'm sorry. Truly I am. That's awful.
It's alright. I've had plenty of time to come to terms with it. As soon as I was, put forward as a candidate, that told me everything I needed to know.
Zingana been left here without any supplies to speak of after being led here through visions. You being chosen by committee because they thought they could lose you and not feel it. And Mia wins the game? There's something off about this. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it.
This search has been going on for years. People lose their motivation to see it succeed. But we've done pretty well so far, to be fair. We've done better than I thought. If this really is a piece.
I'm pretty sure it is. But the question is, what does that mean? These things have magic to them. You couldn't figure out what it is. Mia couldn't figure out what it is. Zingana seems asleep.
He's just out cold. With Tough curled up on his chest.
Well, maybe we'll be lucky this time.
I think as Jara says that,
all of a sudden, a shift in energy is felt by everyone, even those sleeping quietly on the ground. One moment warm and fuzzy, filled with glee, and the next chaos and pain. Screams can be heard across the camp, and even Dill quickly gets to his feet, rushing Mia back to their companions.
how do you all react?
Dill, this isn't a cat. What's going on?
I don't know. I will look around. I bet you it's that darn karma cat.
Suppose that's our cue.
Dill rushes off to go see what is happening. And you quickly see him disappear into the chaos of people running around.
Almost like Tough sensed it first. He dives underneath the shirt of Zingana to hide, and Zingana jolts awake as if he just had a nightmare, and then looks around, goes, "What's going on? Oh, my stomach. Okay, what's happening?"
Not sure yet, but there's trouble.
Okay.
He is eating a star cake, just kind of looking a little bit more nonchalant than she probably should.
That looks really tasty.
Do you want one?
No,
I got a bunch of them.
I'm good. I don't
You
think
should
I'm gonna
try it.
eat. No, I'm
Mia
thinking
I'm
has-
handing you one.
A literal
God.
net full of them. I feel like you have a net bag, and
Yeah.
it's just full of these star cakes and maybe some other little things that Dill was pointing out as he was showing you.
they're falling behind me because there's too many in there. So there's like a little trail of like treats leading me behind Mia.
I think
You
Tough, if Drac, you don't mind, Tough kind of jumps down and grabs one and runs back up and is like,
100%. And even
Eating
Zingana,
it.
like Zingana said no, but the moment you put it in his hand, it's like, oh, okay, I can't say no to something Mia gave me, and starts eating it, like in between pain groans, like, oh.
But you can save it for later too if you want. You want some more wine?
Oh,
no more wine for anyone.
No,
Can I
I'm
do
okay.
a perception check?
yeah, you can
Yeah,
do
I'd like to as well
perception.
if possible. I want to try and climb something to get a vantage point, if there is anything climbable.
Okay, yeah, there's plenty of things. There's like some camp posts. There's buildings, or not buildings, but like wagons that do have ladders and stuff that you could kind of move up and climb up to the top. Some people like to stand on top of their carts anyway to like get, you know, like lounge up there and stargaze. So it's not that uncommon. Some of them are 2-story ones as well. So you can go find one.
In
For
the Wild
you
Woods,
then,
when there's danger, you
Jara,
climb a tree. So that's immediately what Jara's looking for.
it's going to be athletics for you to climb, and then for Teshwin, it's going to be a perception check. So let's do the perception check first, or let's do the climb first. Jara, go ahead and do your athletics.
What is the difficulty?
I think that this is going to be. There's a lot of stuff going on. You are from the woodlands. You probably do climb a lot. I'm assuming, right?
You would think so,
I would say
but
this
the
is
stats don't
this is
necessarily
easy.
agree.
I will say this is an easy task for you.
Okay, good. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You got 2
Epic success.
sparks. Epic success. Okay, walk us through this. Do you even use a 2-story building? Do you just jump up there like parkour? What happens?
I think like there's no flair or anything to it. Like it's because it's athletics rather than acrobatics. I think it's just that like he just spots, you know, the tallest thing nearby and just like runs up, just gets a solid handhold and just starts steadily pulling himself up with like a practiced ease.
All right,
Till he gets to
you
the
get
top.
yourself up there. Teshwin, roll me your perception check. What are you looking for in particular?
I'm looking for the source of this fright.
Okay. I will say this is going to be a challenging thing. It's not going to be easy, not going to be too difficult. There is a lot of stuff going on though, so it might be hard to see like where the main point of the beginning of this chaos started.
All right. Challenging seems fair, but it's not going to succeed.
You look around and you see a mother grabbing their child, and I think this distracts you as something like one of the tents is starting to fall down, and you rush over and hold the tent up while the mother kind of like nods at you thankfully and takes her child and runs. Jara, your turn. Perception. What are you looking for now that you have a vantage point as well? That's going to give you advantage on this roll.
I want to find just like I attempt to sort of read the movements of the crowds and stuff and work out if there's like a point they're running from, if there's like a center of the danger that the chaos is spreading from.
Yeah. Because you have the vantage point, I'm going to say this is an easy roll for you.
Nice.
Woo!
Nailed it.
Yeah,
yeah.
you see
Epic
it.
success.
And this is what you see.
Well, the camera shifts as it follows an odd-looking karma cat that springs away from the camp out towards the long grass. Normally, their grassy bits are green with a slight teal glow, now a slight reddish color with a pink glow, its eyes furious and filled with wrath as it turns back to look and locks eyes with Jara, and then continues to run through the long grass.
Do you follow it? And if you do, how do you go about it?
First I'm going to point it out to everyone and be like, there it is! And make sure to get everyone's attention and tell them where it is, and then I'm going to scramble back down and head that way.
And Teshwan, this is super odd to you. You have never, ever in your life seen a karma cat that looks like that. They always, I will actually put a picture of what they normally always look like. Oh yeah, Dill's not with you guys. They always look like this, a little kitty.
Oh.
They have kind of green, like little grassy bits that are off of them and teal that kind of glows and emanates. And their eyes are like this almost like yellowy green color. But this one does not look like that.
Have I read about anything that would make it turn sour?
No, but you have heard that, oh, that's a good one. You have heard that you shouldn't harm a karma cat, and that if you do so, karma will come back to you tenfold.
Don't attack it.
And we
Just
pet
corral
it.
Maybe, but it'll probably bite you.
Oh. I crouch down and do like that cat thing. Where you go. I don't know if you can hear me, but like the thing.
We can't hear you,
Oh,
but
we can't hear
you.
you.
Okay, just imagine that sound. I think my noise gate's too high of just like when you see a cat and you just kind of like make the little ticking sound.
You're like,
yeah.
like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
What would that be?
What would what be? Oh, you're asking them?
I know, because I think Mia, you said you're trying to like attract it with kind of cat
Oh.
noise.
Oh, you're trying to attract it. I got you. Sorry, I got distracted by like what you were asking. That would be an empathy or a charm potentially. I think either one of those would make sense to me. Like you're like, come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. I'm assuming they're trying to
Yeah.
like charm it to come to you or empathize with it.
I'll do empathy because it has like that an understanding of the perspectives and emotions of other people, animals, and even monsters. So I'll try empathy.
Yeah, and that might make them less come to you, but more get an understanding of what they might be like feeling. So, that is, I would say, an easy roll. It's going to be pretty easy to see what's going on with it.
All right, let's see.
Oof.
Emotionally, that is. Epic success with 2 sparks, only 1 needed. Mia, you look out at this and you're like kind of calling to it, but you notice it's not turning towards you in the sense of like, you know, normally a karma cat might. It looks angry, mad, like it wants to tear things up. Something has aggravated it to like an extent that has brought its wrath down upon this camp. You think maybe the loud noises perhaps might be it?
Taking another bite of a star
Because
cake.
it's kind of got its ears like covered down. You take another
So,
bite out of your star
cake. I think it's mad. Did someone make it mad?
I pull out a little pocket. From a pocket, I pull out like a pocket sandwich. So it's like bread wrapped around a small bit of meat. And I take a small star fragment and just shove it in there. Let's see if I can try and calm it down. Did someone attack your friend?
It's gone. Like it's running through the fields.
Can I?
So you can take your snack with you, but you got to get closer to it.
I'll give chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all
All
follow
right,
it.
you give chase. Are you all running fast? Are you like what is the? Are you
I'm-
stealthily going towards
I'm
it?
running. I'm
Okay,
booking.
Teshwan's
yeah.
booking it.
Yeah, I think
Zingon's
we're
gonna be
all-
backing it as well.
We're all sprinting.
Everybody's booking. What about you, Mia?
I'm sitting down and I'm like setting my little nut bag of star cakes down. I got my bottle of daisy wine. I'm just leaning against a rock.
Mia's having a really nice night. Honestly.
Do you
I
all
love it.
leave Mia behind, or does anyone notice this?
Zingana
and-
stops. Zingana absolutely noticed. He kind of like rolls over to get up because I think he still feels so bloated from all the drinking and eating, and like is about to run off, and then sees that Mia hasn't, and just kind of like stops and goes, "Are you just staying here?"
Yeah, I mean, it's such a nice night. And you can see the stars. And I have star cakes and daisy wine. And the cat just wants to be happy.
I'll be honest, I'm still too tipsy to really do much, so I'm gonna join you. We're just gonna sit down opposite Mia.
I'm
All right.
gonna hand you some more daisy wine and a star cake.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I mean, at this point, like, Mia's also very full and imbibing too much. So probably taking a sip, passing it to you. If you take a sip, passing it back, and just like a bad cycle.
As the two of them are enjoying the daisy
Zingana is
wine
not
and
enjoying it
star
anymore.
cakes.
He's just like, he can't say no to Mia. So it's like, and like just taking a sip and handing it over to Mia.
Teshwin, you book it. You're running. So with Jara in tow, both of you roll me athletics to see how quickly you can catch up to this karma cat. We'll start with you, Teshwin, since you were like, you were first. You were booking it. This is going to be an easy roll for you. You are so used to these fields. You know the cairns. You can see the sway of movement in the grass.
Oh no.
Epic failure.
But what happens? Tell us.
I think that there's a lot of chaos happening, right? People are running, and I think, like before, a tent actually just falls right in my way, and I'm staggered for a bit, and I just like fall onto the ground, trying not to get hurt.
Jara, your turn. Athletics.
What's the difficulty?
For you, you don't know this area very well, but you had the advantage of seeing where the cat went, and you saw exactly where it went in through the grass. So this is also going to be an easy roll for you. Normally it would be a challenging roll, but because
Okay.
you had advantage, you saw the cat, I'm going to give you a little bit of advantage.
I squeak through.
Nice. You squeak through and you chase and you make...
Can I help get Teshwin up? Because like, this ain't my
Yeah.
wheelhouse. I'm like, there's no use me being with this thing. I need the one who knows this place and knows these creatures.
Yeah, if you do so, though, then you might not get to the cat right away.
I think
it might have
I'll
a
make
little
that
bit more.
sacrifice. I think like I run up, like Teshwin's tangled up in a tent, and I run up and I'm like, if we're supposed to not fight this thing, this is all on you. Like, unless you want me to debate this thing on the finer points of why it's feeling the way it is, there's nothing I could do.
Stars and sparks. Hold on, and like, with Jar's help, I start untangling myself. Did it look like it was
you
going after?
entangle... Oh, go ahead.
Did it look like it was going after anything in particular?
I think it's just causing trouble. I don't know though.
All right. As the two of you, as you are able to get Teshwin untangled from this fallen tent, and Jara kind of states where they last saw them head off to, the two of you go running through and head onward. Teshwin, you know that the area that you're headed through in the tall grass has dye fields. These are colorful flowers that shoot up pollen that you have to avoid. So you know this is coming up, and the cat has kind of flung through these little flowers and made their way past them.
You might want to hold your breath and avoid any pollen and flowers. I'm gonna look around quickly and see if there's any way we can get around and head them off instead of going directly to the flower field.
Ooh, yeah. I would say that's nature or perception for me.
Nature's perfect.
Or if you have a spell of some sort.
No, I do not.
Okay.
Nature.
Oh, yeah, I gotta remove Mia and Zingana from here. They're not in the scene.
We're getting wasted.
Having the loveliest night, and honestly, I'm wondering why we're chasing a cat. Easy, challenging, difficult.
Which one did you say you're doing? Sorry.
Nature.
Nature. Okay, that's gonna be easier for you then.
All right. Now I
Wow.
succeeded something.
Nice.
Epic success. Yeah, you find a path that's around the dye fields. Explain to us what that looks like.
The dye fields are like in a valley between two hills, and I figured that if we go around, crest one of the hills, we can just slide down the grasses, speed up, and hopefully head off this cat. So I grab Jara by the hand, and just without explaining things, just make him follow in my movements.
Whoa. Ah. Oh, we're sliding. Oh, we're sliding.
Yes, we're sliding.
The camera continues to follow the angry karma cat as you corner it into a bit of a stone ruin. Heavily covered in moss, its grassy back stands on ends, eyes gleaming with hate, and its teeth sharp as it hisses menacingly at you.
I'm gonna take the pocket sandwich that I had and toss it onto the ground. I understand that someone might have angered you, my friend. Please take a sacrifice and go on your way. And I'm gonna try to harmonize with it.
Yeah. Tell us what harmonized is.
Repairs natural imbalances in a small area, so calm a tempestuous river, pacify a hostile creature, pacify a hostile karma cat.
Yeah, let's try that.
It's a spellcraft roll.
I think that this is going to be a challenging thing for you. Not difficult for you because you know karma cats. You also have this treat with it. So I think actually maybe it might be easy for you. Actually, now that I think about it, now that I'm going down the list for you.
I do like easy things. Thank you, Maggie. Oh my god.
What happens? What happens is you toss this and the cat hisses again at you.
There's the sound of a clink as like the star shard embedded into it, because that's how I conduct my spells, just flings out and like skitters across the ground. And I think the cat straight up just turns its ire towards us, and instead of going for the treat, goes for a claw to the face, arms, flesh.
Yeah. Yep. We are going to a battle map.
Oh no.
Oh no, we
I'd like
left
to
you guys.
I have to remove a bunch of stuff because I need to remove some of these creatures because they don't actually belong here.
Yeah.
So give me a moment whilst I clean this up.
Oh,
They don't
no.
have at some point I'm sure they're going to allow us to like pre-prep maps and stuff like that so that we can do all of the things. But at the moment, Mia and Zingana, you're not actually here, so just pass your turns when you do get here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're there in spirit. We're cheering you on.
Gee,
Um,
thanks.
Hold on, I'm still grabbing all the things.
No, I'm realizing I smudged some of my face paint. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's the
whenever you
tears.
were
Oh, no.
whenever you were sleeping or whenever you were drinking, you did that earlier. It was funny.
That-
All right.
It is
Karma.
my turn.
Yes, it is first. So how this works is on our end, I can set up a battle map. I'm not sure how to remove certain people from it yet, so I need to figure that out. But you can set up a map. People have to move first, so reminder that you take your move action first, and then you do your ability or whatever it is. If you don't take a move action first, you will not move. You will not be able to move on your turn. So, and then once you're done, your turn will pass, and it'll go to the next person.
I'm actually bugging out a little bit. Let me try and exit the game and see if I can return to the battle, because it's a lot.
Yeah, we are on an early build.
We
Yeah.
are in early build. This is
yeah.
You just click your character too, and it'll have the actions on it. And you can also click on the top where there's the characters, and it'll take you straight to where that person is, which is kind of cool.
that's nice.
Yeah. I don't know if Bentham wants to show a little bit of that. And then on the GM side, I can also click people's healths and stuff like that and take action.
All right. So where's this cat? I see it. So I'm gonna move a bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could do a gravity spear. I could meteor leap. But I think the first thing I want to do.
And if you're trying not to do damage, you can just walk up to it and we can RP like what other actions you would do as well.
I think the first thing I need to do is try and get into space. So I need to try and do a little bit of a gravity leap. Nope, that's too far. Let's
There's a square around you. You'll have to put it in that square.
I
There you
see.
go.
Yeah, I see. Which is a bit too far. So I think right now all I can do is just walk up a bit closer to it. And I did not mean to click that. That was an accident.
It's okay. All right. The Karma Cat's turn as it's going to get closer to you. But it also cannot attack yet. But it will try. It will move on.
We're just getting cozy. We're getting to know one another.
I'm also trying to. I know there's a way for me to. There we go. Oh.
Nope.
Everybody moved on my screen.
Same here.
All right. We're going to back out of the battle map. It's having a little bit of struggle.
My turn again?
Yeah,
That's
I think
great.
it like rewound. So give me a moment to exit the battle map. We will RP out what happens so that we, in case of that. And you do still have your spells here as well. But yeah, I think the battle cat kind of gets up closer to you and hisses menacingly.
I'm going to try and talk to it. Can I use Speak to Nature, please?
It will be Jara's turn next because we're kind of in combat.
Right. Understood. Sorry.
It's okay.
Jara's gonna hold because he's like, Teshwin's the expert here. I'm like, are we fighting? If we're fighting, I can fight, but I don't want to fight unless we're fighting. Just like ready to hurl spells.
You can free action talk to each other though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he waits.
Do you got nothing for this? I mean, to be fair, I barely have anything for this.
I've got nothing for talking to animals.
Fine. I'll talk to the cat. Hello, my friend. And I take a piece of grass. Put it in my mouth. Let's see if I choke on it this time.
Oh god.
Spell's only worked once so far, and it's on that bloody bunny. Is this easy, challenging, or difficult?
I will say, because the cat's kind of mad, I'm going to say that this is going to be challenging.
That makes sense. Oh, you've got to be bloody kidding me. Epic failure.
Tell us what happens.
I think the grass just like nicks me on the inside of my mouth. I stumble to try to speak some words. Instead, I spit out a gob of blood right onto it.
Oh, onto it?
Yeah.
Its eyes furrow, and you can just see it looks PO'd, it's mad, it growls almost.
This is not my night.
Why do you keep eating things all the time?
It's how I bloody speak to things.
But it never works.
Well, it worked with the damn rabbit.
And the cat is going to try to attack you. And it slashes its claw at you. Since we can't really do the combat the way that we would normally, I'm going to have you react to what the cat does. So if you can roll me an acrobatics to kind of like dodge this cat as it goes to claw you.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be an easy dodge. Success. No damage is taken. It swipes at you, but you are able to like move out of the way before it can get its claws into you. And as you can see it open up its arms to swipe into you, you can see that the little veins where the fur is are even this deep red. And something is like lodged in there. Like it's swallowed something.
You're
It ate
hurt.
something.
Oh, that makes sense. Hold on. And I'm going to wait for my turn.
Jara, it's your turn.
I think when in response to that, I'm like, wait, hurt? I can heal. That's a thing I can do. I'll try it.
Are you gonna try to heal it?
I'm gonna try and heal this thing. If that would help.
All right.
not, I'm only
is
making
that on
it
your
worse
spell
for
list
myself.
here,
I believe it's under the battle spells.
or is it only under your battle spells?
It's only my battle spells that have healing. I'm not sure if there are any that just heal. I think they all might do harm and also heal, but I could always do the
Yeah,
harm
they
at like a
do.
rock or something, right?
yeah, we can play it out that way.
Okay, good.
Let's say whatever spell, the difficulty or whatever your, let's do it as like a nature or something, or charm roll, and we'll make it an easy one.
Charm would be nice. I mean, there's spellcraft.
charm.
That, as well.
Oh yeah, we could do spellcraft. It'll be easy.
Good.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh.
A moment of panic
All right,
there.
describe
It looked like
just
it
what
was
it
gonna be
looks
two
like as you attempt to heal this karma cat.
So like I was ready to like start hurling combat spells, and I'm like, wait, healing, and then just like jumps in real quick, like it's an attack, but he's putting his hand into this thing's like grass fur, and then just sending a burst of healing down his arm into it, and just like, please don't kill me.
As you do that, you can see that the cat, like where you put your hand out and where the magic is that you emanated from your hand, that part of the karma cat is now turning like that lime green, grassy, beautiful color that you would be used to, but there's still some semblance of something that is like red within them. It looks like maybe they need to like cough something up, like a hairball or something. There's like something lodged in there.
I'm going to... There's this thing with karma cats, I'm pretending, that like if you catch them just underneath their jaw falls open. You know, like there's a trick to it. And I'm going to try and stick my hand in and just yank out what they need to cough.
Okay. I would allow this to be either your like charming, empathetic, or maybe even athletics, like yanking it out. I would allow any of those.
Empathy sounds good.
Okay.
I like the image of like I heal it, and for a moment it's startled, and use the opportunity to just be like, what?
That's how I'm imagining this. It's like it's like got caught itself back up, and then you're taking that opportunity, or well, Teshwin's attempting to. This will be an easy roll for you
Knowing my luck.
now that it's calm. Ooh, that
Fuck,
almost
nailed it.
became bad. It was like epic success though. You got 3 sparks. Walk us through what happens as you dislodge this thing, and the karma cat will go back to normal.
So, it's caught in shock because Jar is actually healing it a little bit. And then I do, like, I go right underneath its chin, dig my fingers in as gently as I can, but still a bit rough, causing its jaw to fall open. And I stick in my other hand, reach around until I grab what they're looking for, and I cup its jaw and gently pet it as I draw it out. Slowly but surely, trying to look into its eyes so it understands that I'm not hurting it. I am trying to help it.
And you hear that tried and true sound of a cat coughing up a hairball. And out comes this chunk of what looks very similar to what Mia is holding on to. It is a weird shaped stone with little tiny veins through it that are pulsating red, and the stone itself is more of a pink color.
Are you kidding? You ate this thing?
No way.
God,
And the
you're
karma
joking.
cat slowly comes back to its normal color. And it nuzzles you and purrs and just plops down with its feet up in the air and its belly exposed.
Can I try and speak to it one more time?
Sure.
Easy, I hope.
I think in this case it actually is going to be difficult because the cat just coughed up a big chunk of stone.
Yeah, sure. Let's give it a shot. As long as it's not an epic failure, I don't mind. I like roll around the grass in my mouth, covering it in blood by accident. But sure. And oh wow, that was so close.
So close. 2 sparks, but not
At least it
enough.
wasn't epic.
Not an epic failure, but you go to speak to it, but it doesn't come to you. And I think that we'll pan back to Zingana and Mia and give them a moment as we see the two of them together. What's happening? I feel like there's a role relationship happening here that we need to.
I mean, just lounging, eating star cakes and drinking daisy wine. I'm gonna sit up. How do you feel?
Do you want the truth? Oh,
I only want the truth. We don't need to lie.
I feel really sick.
I do too. I hate too much. And I mean, I can't stop drinking.
What do you mean you can't stop drinking? You can just.
If it's there, I just keep drinking it. And if there's star cakes, I just keep eating them.
Wait.
Is that why? Are you doing that too?
Right now, no. I'm honestly just drinking because you've been giving me the daisy wine, and I don't want to say
drink
no.
it if I give it to you if you don't want it.
Just wait, hold on. Rewind. You said you don't want to drink, but you want to drink when it's nearby.
It's just there, so why not? It's just there.
I felt like that too when. Oh wait, I didn't catch you. That was really embarrassing.
As I fell. It's a fun story.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I'm pretty bruised on my back.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm usually a lot more responsible than this. I have to be.
Wait, why do you have to be?
Well, if I'm not, then who's gonna take care of my siblings? You know, I gotta go find all the things on the beach and sell them and make sure there's stuff on the table so everybody can eat.
Wait, didn't you say you have a dad? Is that what dads do?
Yeah,
Isn't that what dads do?
That's preoccupied. Does his best, you know? I'm the oldest. I left. I feel really bad about leaving. I'm hoping he does what I asked him to. I showed him everywhere I go on the beaches, everywhere to find the treasures so that he can make sure he sells it at the shop and make sure that everybody gets what they need.
I'm sure it's all fine. I mean, we can finish this quest quickly, and you can get back to your family. You get a money prize, right?
Oh, it was 1,000 shells, and so I mean that's pretty good, right? I mean,
Then you
it's
have
not.
Look
It's
to
pretty
look forward
good.
to. I don't know what a conversion rate is. Yeah,
I don't either.
yeah. I think it's
I don't
good.
mean to bother you with my. Everybody should have a good time. I'm sorry you don't feel good.
I'm sorry you don't feel good.
The two of them apologize to each other about not feeling great. We pan back over to the other two. Who's holding on to the vestige, the piece of the vestige?
Maybe you'll have better luck talking to this one. And I hand it over to Jara. I have the karma cat under my arm, and I'm just like gently petting it.
Yeah, and we all know if you have a karma cat under your arm, you can't move. It's just
Oh yeah.
you're stuck there. That's your life now.
It's worth a look, and I'm gonna try and appraise again.
I meant just who's holding it. Not that you're gonna praise anything.
Oh, okay.
Poor Jara. I feel like every ending of every episode is gonna be Jara being like, I want to praise it.
Okay, I
Well,
want to
maybe
praise
next
it.
episode you can appraise it. Because we do have shorter episodes. We're trying to make sure that we wrap everything up.
The camera flickers as it zooms in on the incomplete vestige of Vakna, glowing lightly in Jara's hand and Mia's bag. As the camera pans out, we see the entrance to the ever-changing wildwoods, considered to be the most mysterious region in Mythas. Dill walks over to Teshwin and hands them an odd device, a small trinket that lightly whirs, and he says,
It only has one use, so use it wisely. If you find yourself embraced by a wildwood entity, you know the wildwoods are dangerous, I need not tell you, but I would recommend you find a guide of some sort. May the stars guide you and hide you.
and that concludes episode 2 of Vakna's Awakening.
Yay! Now we need to end every episode with Jara being like, I appraise
I
it.
want to praise it.
we get the
And then the final episode, I actually let you
final
appraise
episode.
it.
We get the final piece, and I'm like, right now I need to find out if it's the final piece. No, the show ends. You'll never know.
Cliffhanger.
All right.
Oh dear. Well, that was lovely, and we'll be back next week. Let's go around everyone, and we can find them and what they're up to, and all that kind of thing. Let's start today with Drac. Tell us about what you're up to.
Yeah, when I'm not playing a drunk fanboy, I guess. When I'm not playing a drunk Zingana, you can find me on Twitter at Draconix. That's DRAKONIQUES. I'm a TTRPG performer, producer, writer, everything and anything TTRPG related I am doing or will be doing. Just keep an eye out because I've got some really cool things in the works that I can't talk about just yet, but you're going to enjoy them. They're going to be very autumn themed.
Ooh.
What does
I
that
want to
mean?
be involved in autumn themed things.
Me too.
I love autumn. It's my favorite.
It's the best season out of the 4.
Well, how about you, Werewolf?
Oh, my name is Noidina Likadir, but most people just call me Werewolf. Why? I go by Werewolf Feels all over the interwebs. Just look for Werewolf Feels. You'll find me. I'm a TTRPG writer, consultant, designer. I also play a lot of games. You can find me playing games all over the internet right now. I'm over on the Atomless, a Starfinder podcast with me and some buddies, playing in the Freet. But also, right now, you can see me on Trooper SGP's channel playing Vampire the Masquerade in Michigan. It's very exciting, set in the 1970s. This has been a stellar episode. Thank you so much.
Hey. And Katie, what about you?
Hello, I'm Katie Peters Plays. I played a very lethargic and drunk Mia Soul for you today. I am all over the internet as Katie Peters Plays, and on Twitter as Play Katie Play. I do tabletop, gaming, and podcasting. So you can find me doing one of those various places around the interwebs.
And our wonderful GM, Maggie.
Hey, thank you again, Rift Weaver, for letting us get an early look at Fablecraft. We hope that you all are enjoying it, and we're excited to see them as they continue to develop the game a little bit more. I am Margaret Crone. You can find me at Margaret Crone in all of the places, and I make games and video games for a living. I'm currently working on a project called Ashes of Creation. If you want to check that out, you can find it at Ashes of Creation in all of the places. And please follow these lovely people. Oh my gosh, I love all your characters. And Bentham, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Twitch's Bentham Plays, or you can find me just doing TTRPGs here on Roll For It, sometimes in other places too, like maybe the Wandering Inn soon. And you can also find me doing my own thing, playing video games in channels called Magglepork, because I have terrible branding. But that's all we have time for. We'll be back next week with the next episode of Vakna's Awakening.
And Bentham, you're gonna get a DM from me. See you next episode.
Oh no.
Oh, dear.
Ah.
Oh.
See you next time.
Bye.